All right, we're recording. Today is December 6th, 2018 at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Today we are doing a market overview. We have Genevieve, Taisha, Julie, Sasha, Noreen, Rastum, April, Leah, Rob Boy, and Keely on the call. All right, so let's take a look. We're looking at Euro USD. Now, we've already looked at Euro USD for the weekly outlook on Sunday. Okay, so we already looked at this. However, I want you all to pay attention to something that's going on right now. Okay, if you really take a look at the daily chart for Euro USD, and if I really zoom out, we just came off of a downtrend, okay? We just came off of a downtrend. And now the market's moving sideways, okay? Now, I want to make something known to everybody here on the call, and this applies for the major time frame, the daily, or even the weekly, but mostly the daily, okay? I want you to notice something about sideways moving markets. Can anyone tell me what happens after the market goes sideways for a long period of time? Go ahead and unmute. Or drop it in the chat. What happens after the market goes sideways for a long, extended period of time?
Does it go in the opposite direction?
Correct, Julie. It reverses. Yes. So when it goes sideways, that is generally a buildup for a move in the opposite direction. Let's take a look at different examples of this historically. So if we take a look here, previous to the downtrend, we actually had an uptrend, okay? I want to get rid of that too. We had a pretty good uptrend, right? Okay. So you can see that the rally here was pretty strong. And then what happened? Let's take a look at what happened here. We reached resistance, but then what happened? The market went sideways, right? Went sideways for a while. It didn't really pull back. It didn't really go up. It just kept retesting this zone. Now I can tell you this. How many times did it touch that zone? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches to the zone. That's an indication to me that we're going to see a reversal, and that's exactly what happened. If you would have noticed this and had the patience to place a sell order, see, once you've seen this movement already 5 times, you know what's going on here. The market is giving you a clue. I put my line up here. Look, once I see that third touch to the top, I don't need the market to tell me anything else. It's already told me 3 different times it's going to reject that price zone. It's not going up anymore, okay? So with that being said, after that third touch, I would place my sell. Now, if you were patient and willing to ride that trade out from the top, you would have caught about 1,000 pips or more if you would have gone down to the bottom of that peak. 1,000 pips, okay? That's pretty awesome, 1,000 pips. So just recognizing what sideways movement does in the market is very, very key. And again, on the daily, we look from the top down. We start at the higher time frame to get the idea of the overall trend, and then we go to the smaller time frame. Keely and I talked about this on our last call. Remember, on the daily, each candle represents 1 day, okay? So this is going to give us the overall outlook of the market. This is going to tell us where we want to ultimately get in and where we ultimately want to exit. However, for a precision entry, we're looking on the 15-minute chart. Okay, on the 15-minute chart, because it's going to give us a 15-minute breakdown play-by-play of what's going on in that one candle, right? Okay, so again, sideways movement to a reversal. Now, take a look at what's happening here. I want everybody to notice what's going on here. Number one, we have an extension of the downtrend. Can everyone see that? We have an extension of the downtrend, a descending channel, okay? However, if we take a look at what's going on here, if we go to the RSI, which is our momentum indicator, and we go to this, because everything runs vertical right here, this peak, if we go down here and we put a trend line, and we draw the trend line to the end of the RSI, what's happening here? We have bullish divergence, okay? Which is an indication that at some point, this should break and go to the upside. Now, take a look at what else I'm noticing here. If we take a closer look, I'm seeing some consolidation here near our support zone. You see how I drew support and resistance there? I'm seeing a lot of consolidation down here right now near support. Now, what I'm also noticing is if I take a look at the RSI, right now, let me move this a little bit. We're at about the 50 level, What that indicates to me is that we're getting ready for our upside move, okay? We've already had divergence all the way down from basically 5 up to 50, okay? And we're still in a downtrend, which means now the market should break off the other way to clear the other 100, okay? So again, 0 to 50 on the RSI, still in a downtrend. Now my expectation is this will be the launching point for the rally to extend to the top of the zone, okay? Now also, if you notice the consolidation here, a little bit of market geometry, I'm seeing a potential pennant forming here. Now, some of you may look at that and say that's a bearish pennant. You would be correct. You would be correct. So with that being said, if this is a bearish pennant or a bear flag, what we're looking at is one of two things here, okay? Now, in my opinion, the likelihood of what's going to happen here is this. We're going to have a move to the downside, back to retest the previous low, right here. See that? That's our retest. What that means is that price comes down and retests the previous low to get rejected yet again. So my expectation is one of two things will happen here. Either it's going to go down to the bottom of the support and retest the extreme level of that swing, and then it should go up from there and create a double bottom. I'm very particular about my colors. This is my personal preference. Anything to me that indicates an uptrend, I do in green. Anything to me that indicates a downtrend, I do in red. It's just psychology. It's just the way my brain works. Use any colors you want. I think Gigi likes yellows and different stuff like that. Whatever you're comfortable with, use it. Whatever tells your brain buy or sell, use those colors. I'm simply so used to green and red from trading like this that I just stick to it, okay? So again, a push to the downside, but a fake out to the downside. So what's happening here is this. Remember, our competition is the banks, okay? The banks are who we're trading against. What do you think the banks are thinking right now? Because everybody on God's green earth knows that we're at a support. Everybody knows that this should be a buy, right? Am I right? If anybody were to mark this up, basic market structure, they would say, huh, we're sitting at support right now, so looking like a buy. So what do you think the market makers are going to do? What do you think the banks are going to do? Let me explain.
They're going to try to hit your stop losses first.
Correct. Exactly. They're going to try and hit your stop loss and take your money. So this is how it works. Before the market makers make their real move, they want to extract money from the market first. See, here's the deal. You're either a buyer or a seller, okay? Right here, you have one of two things happening. You either have people buying or selling. What is the likelihood that people are selling right here, looking to sell? Not very high, because we're at a support. Most people are looking to buy. How do I know that? How do I know market sentiment? That's pretty simple. If I go to Google on my phone and I go to Euro USD sentiment, and I click on the very first one, daily FX market sentiment. Euro USD, can you guys see this? There's a bull. There's a bull there. The signal is a bullish signal. Means it's going to go up. And that's what the banks want you to think. And the banks know it's going to go up. They don't want to drive the price down any further. They want it to go up, but first they want to knock out your stop loss. So this is how it works if you're brand new. If you enter the market right here where price is at currently, and you enter on a buy, you're going to set your stop loss just below that level. Maybe right about here, below that candle, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Below that candle, you're going to give your trade a little bit of room. Let's see how many pips that is. 66, 58, almost 100 pips. Almost 100 pip stop loss, not bad. And you're looking to catch, what, 1,000 pips? It's probably a little bit less. But anyway, with that being said, that's a good risk-to-reward ratio. However, what happens when the market makers say, I don't think so, we're not really ready for that yet, we're going to go ahead and drop this price, boom, right down here to the bottom of the zone, smash your stop loss, take your money, and 70-80% of everybody else is going bullish on this trade, going on a buy, taking all their money. So what's happening here is they're trapping the buyers. They're trapping the buyers into thinking it's a buy, extracting their money, and then guess what happens? Most of the people that were in on a buy originally will get out of the trade. They'll get out. They lost money. They're like, oh, forget it. I'll move on to the next one. That's the biggest mistake you can make. See, when you guys get stopped out, like on USD CAD, we got stopped out. Did you notice what happened after we got stopped out? Does anybody know what happened? We placed a sell. We got stopped out. What happened? You can just go ahead and unmute and let me know what you think happened. Or you can look at the chart.
It went down.
It went down. It did exactly what we wanted it to do, but guess what? It hit our stop loss first. Is that my fault? Not really. It was a pretty good stop loss. However, I re-entered the market as soon as I saw that. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way the market's going any higher. It's done. And there was an ascending channel, my favorite price pattern. You'll learn about that in advanced training. And guess what ascending channels do 90% of the time? They go down. They go down. It's a mark of loss of buying pressure. It's small consolidation going to the upside and a flag pointing to the upside on a diagonal motion, but it's not really any volume. It's weak-ass volume that's basically telling you it's getting ready to drop, okay? So that's what happened. We got stopped out, but then that's your opportunity to re-enter. So if I get stopped out on this trade and it pushes to the low, this is what I do, okay? I get stopped out. What I'm waiting for is my first high volume green candle, price action, one of our confirmations, one of our higher confirmations, market structure price action, right? I'm waiting for that big green candle to come, and then what? Taisha knows this. What am I waiting for to buy? What's my confirmation?
Is it retracement?
Correct, the retracement. I'm waiting for the pullback. Okay, so I don't buy on the impulse. I don't buy when it goes up. I buy when it pulls back. Then it goes up. Okay? I would rather buy down here when it pulls back than up here. Number one, I'm going to catch more pips. And number two, I have confirmation. Okay? Wait until the candle closes, because here's the deal. This thing could go up and then wick down all in one candle. It's the daily chart. Remember, there's a lot going on in one day. It could wick down in reverse. It could do something crazy. I'm not willing to take that chance. I need the market to prove to me it wants to go that way. Okay? And then if I enter on a buy and I still get stopped out, okay, well then we'll reassess. But, you know, most of the time that's not what's going to happen. So again, here on this trade, I'm either anticipating from this point right here, we're going to make our move to the upside. It's getting ready to break because we have bullish divergence, or it's going to go down. It's going to test that low and then push off. Also, likely creating a double bottom on the RSI. Okay? Also creating a W on the RSI before it pushes off. But really, you guys, I mean, the potential of it going up from here is pretty good. But again, it's a 100 pip difference. You're better off just to wait. This level of volume here, I'm not satisfied. I'm seeing what looks like a reverse head and shoulders going on here, which is a price pattern that indicates an uptrend. Everybody with me? Let me know if you're following me. Draw a 2 in the chat box, please. Put a 2 in the chat box. Let me know if you have any questions at this point. Can everybody see what's going on here? Because listen, I'm going to tell you, everybody thought right here, when we touched right here, that we were going to go in an extended uptrend. And look what happened. It almost looked like a reverse head and shoulders right there, didn't it? But guess what ended up happening? Nope, we got rejected. We got rejected. So guess what? I'm only playing inside this zone because the market told me it only wants to stay in that range. It's called range trading. Range trading. You need to see the price range that's most recent on the daily and don't mess around with anything outside of that. I'm looking for the most secure trade setup that I could possibly take. I'm not looking to take chances on something outside of the zone. When the market tells me buy, I'm going to buy. Only when the market tells me first, not predicting. See, people get caught up in this habit. See what I just did right here? How I predicted a possible down move and then an up move. That doesn't mean that I'm just going to enter the trade, you know, right now. That means I'm going to wait for the market to either prove my analysis right or prove it wrong. Now, I gave you 2 analysis. So what could happen here is, number one, it could go up from here and pull back. We would enter the buy. Or it's going to go down first, then go up and pull back, and we enter on the buy. But either way, what does that involve? What is the one word I am looking for? What does that involve? The one word. Let me know in the chat box. Everybody, please. Everybody, the one word I'm looking for. What does this involve? Does anybody know? Patience. John is on fire tonight. John is on fire tonight, and everybody write it in the chat box, please. Patience. Listen, I might be able to afford to get into a trade early. I could get into that trade right now. Right now, all day long. I could set a standard lot and sit in that trade, but why would I want to? Why would I want to? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I get in when the market hasn't told me it's ready to go yet? It's still consolidating. It's still moving sideways. Why would I trade a sideways market? That's for another lesson. But seriously, we're looking for a trend here. We're looking for an uptrend. Okay, wait for the market to tell you it's going up. Don't let the market play you. Don't let the banks play you. If everybody's looking for a buy right now, wait for the move to play out. Don't get caught. Don't get trapped. All right, so what are we doing on Euro USD? What's the plan for Euro USD? Can anybody let me know in the chat box, please? What is our plan for Euro USD? I don't expect an elaborate description, just a simple, just what are we doing here? We're waiting. Very good. We're waiting. My goal is to make this like, when you guys look at this stuff that I teach you, you're like, that's simple. It's simple. We're waiting. Trading. You buy, you sell, or you sit on your hands. One of my favorite sayings, I don't remember the guy's name. One of the best traders in the world. Listen to this very, very carefully. He said that 90% of traders would make millions of dollars trading in the market if they just knew how to sit on their hands. That's it. If they just knew how to sit on their hands and not trade. That's why I told you, and Julie was talking about feeding the beast. We talk about this feeding the beast, okay? If you need to feed the beast, feed it on a demo account. Look, when I get crazy, when I start thinking about taking stupid trades, I just take a $100 bill, I'll go to the casino, I'll play blackjack and get it out of my system. Or I go on a demo account, whatever. Okay, I don't drink, I don't really, do anything else. So for me, that's what it would look like, or whatever. Go for a run, work out, whatever. Whatever it is for you that gets you back into the right state of mind. Remember, discipline in the long run is what's going to make it happen. See, in the past couple days, we lost a couple signals. We got stopped out, but guess what? I'm still winning the trade. Why? Because I got back in. I got back in. All the market told me was it's going to push a little bit further than I expected. So what? Good. That means it's going to go down even more. Get back in. If you don't know, ask. If you don't know, ask. Any questions? Any comments? How's everybody feeling about this analysis? Does anybody have a different analysis for Euro USD? If you do, if you ever have a different analysis, please, by all means, let's talk about it, but send me a chart. All right, so we talk with charts in our group. So if you ever have an analysis, mark up the chart and send it. You're either going to learn or you're going to be right. That's it. You're either right or you learn. There is no losing. Noreen's liking her first lesson. Okay, cool. And you know what? For those of you that are brand new, you're going to go through the training and all this stuff. I'm telling you, when you guys get the stuff I put in advanced training, I don't even think Gigi's seen it. Got to get into that training. Intermediate and advanced, I'm telling you, advanced training. Even for you, Gigi, if you don't have the time right now, just go right to advanced and watch all those videos. It'll be worth it, believe me. Okay, almost done with intermediate. You're going to love advanced. Advanced is awesome. I cover my favorite setups. I cover my favorite strategies, my favorite everything. And then don't forget, when you guys are done with that, You had the whole 2.5-hour strategy video, which Genevieve studied to a T, and now she's almost got 10K in her trading account. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay? All right, let's look at USD CAD. Why did we get stopped out? What was up with that? I don't like it. I don't like getting stopped out, but guess what? There's a reason for it, right? Right? There's a reason for that. Now, if any, I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Yep. So let's go ahead and draw. You got to remember where your bases are. Okay, we talk about support and resistance, but you need to identify where a base is. Okay, there's a guy named, he's a crypto trader, the guy that I follow. His name's Luke. He's really good at identifying where price is likely to stop and then reverse. Okay, what he's looking for are these bases. Right here is a base. Right here is a base. Right here is a base. But we're also looking for these consolidations. Price likes to hang out here. If price likes to hang out in that spot, guess what? What's it going to do when it comes back to that spot? Probably the same exact thing, right? It's all history, you guys. What happened historically? When in doubt, look left. When in doubt, look left. You're not trying to draw the picture to the right. Some traders will tell you to do that. You're trying to predict what happens to the right. No. All you got to do is look to the left. The left page tells me everything I need to know. Everything. Because if it did it before, it's going to do it again. Every time. I promise you. All right, so see how there's a base right here? So that's going to be my support. And you can see over here to the left as well, but I'm not even going to draw that. I'm just going to draw our support now. Trading is easy, you guys. Honestly, it is. With proper risk management, it's really not that hard. There's my support. I mean, literally, look at this. 2 lines. 2 lines. Look. Up, down. Up, down. Up. Oh, guess what happens when it goes all the way to the top? Down. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's how easy it looks to me. Expectation. Let's pull a couple trend lines here. Nice trend forming. Beautiful trend. That is beautiful, you guys. Look at those touches. I mean, that's some precision right there. Look at that. I love that. I love when market structure is super predictable because it's really easy to tell where it's going to go next. Look at that. Beautiful. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, I'm seeing some wicking action at the top here. Does anybody know what wicking action indicates? Take a look left over here. What happened after the wicking action over here at this other base, at this peak? What happened when price wicked down?
It indicated them dropping.
What's that?
It indicated it was going to drop.
Correct. It indicates that price is being rejected in the zone. So whenever I see wicking, especially on the daily, that's a huge signal for reversal. That's an indication that volume is starting to decrease. I'm seeing different small doji candles here marking indecision. Indecision. And then the larger candles that attempt to break through are wicking down. So we have a combination of rejection and indecision. Look, here's the deal. If we're voting for the president of the United States, okay, and it's Donald Trump and it's Hillary Clinton, and you're trying to decide who to vote for, okay, and you're going to vote for Donald, you're going to vote for Hillary, or you're undecided. If the majority of the country, if Hillary Clinton is this red zone here, number one, people are rejecting her. People don't want to vote for her. Number two, there's indecision around her. Maybe it's the emails. Maybe it's her diplomacy or lack thereof, whatever it was that got her out, right? There's indecision and there's rejection. Donald Trump, although Donald Trump was mostly hated, he had that popularity and he also had that image, the businessman, going to improve the economy. Okay, so Donald Trump came in right here. This is where Donald Trump won the election. Right here. Does everyone see that red candle? And if you don't like Donald Trump, I'm sorry, but he won. Does everyone see that? That is where Donald Trump won the election. Why? What is significant about those huge candles? High volume. Most people wanted Donald Trump. And at the end of the day, most people that came to the voting booth came for Donald Trump. Right? So therefore, what happened? Boom. Landslide. All right? Make sense? It's a bearish engulfing. These high volume bearish candles. Okay? Now let's take a look at what's going on here currently. Who do we have on? John, Julie, Taisha, Genevieve, Joni. Oh, Joni's on. Hi, Joni. Alex, how you doing, Alex? Thanks for jumping on. Rob, April, Leah, Rastum, Noreen. How's everybody doing? I'll try not to put you to sleep. This is a lot of information. Now we're entering the red zone, the Hillary zone, right? It should be a blue zone, right? Because she's a Democrat. But anyway, what do you think's going to happen? Well, I'm seeing some wicking. I'm seeing some rejection here. But I'm not really seeing any indecision yet. So it's my best analysis or prediction, really. This is purely a speculation. That in this zone right here, we may end up seeing some dojis play out here and create a consolidation. Okay? We may end up seeing some dojis here that move to the downside. But again, I'm seeing some wicking. And you know what? This green candle right here, you guys, is newest candle. It could push all the way to the top of that zone. And guess what? I'm not getting out of this trade. That's just me. If it breaks past that this red box, I'm getting out. But if it hangs out in this zone, I don't care. It's just a patience game. It's going to go down. Now, the US dollar has been strong. However, it needs to retrace. The dollar, remember, we're in a dollar pair, USD CAD. You need to look at the DXY or the dollar index to see how the dollar is performing. Maybe we should do that. I haven't looked today. But I can tell you this. DXY on TradingView. Okay? I can tell you this right now. The dollar must be going up if USD CAD's going up, because USD is the base currency. And take a look. We're in an uptrend. However, take a look. Very, very interesting here. I want you to see this. I am a psychic predicting the future. Are you ready? What is happening here? Okay, here we go. We're in an uptrend, right? Can everybody see that that's a clear uptrend? Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Uh-oh. Lower high, lower low. Interesting. Interesting. Now, there's a couple things that I can see here that are going on. Wow, that's a... Take a look at this downtrend we just came off of. I mean, that's crazy. Now we are hitting a bit of resistance here. Can everybody see the bases? Price hung out there. There's a base. Price hung out here. Here's another base. And look, here's a trick. Here, see this candle? This one candle tells you the whole story. Look at this candle. You see that wick? Right there. Rejection of that zone. Continuation to the upside. So, if we go over here, we're right there. Okay? So, right now what I'm seeing is downward movement on the RSI, but it's consolidating here. It's consolidating here. I'm a little concerned about that, okay? And let me tell you why. I'm a little concerned because there is a potential that it could go like this. It could do that. And based on the fundamentals right now of the US economy and what's going on, there's a high likelihood it could. But that's speculation. And right now, the only thing that I can see is that we're at a resistance zone. We've just had a lower high, and we're due for a retracement. Okay? So with that being said, I'm anticipating something like this. Either that scenario, which would be unlikely if you're, or would be unfavorable if you're in USD CAD, or this scenario. And it'll drop down to the next base. Let's take a vote. Option number 1 is that move there. Option number 1 is that move there. Option number 2 is the down move, the move to the downside. Everybody vote in the chat box, please. Option number 1 is the move to the upside. Option number 2 is the move to the downside. That's what I said originally, right? Option number 1 is a continuation of the trend. Option number 2, we're going to have a slight reversal here. What do you guys expect to happen? 1 or 2? Well, I hope everybody that said 1 is wrong, because I'm going to sell on USD CAD, and I hope that the dollar tanks. It's likely. It is likely. We're going to watch it. We'll see what happens here. Down here at the bottom, can anyone tell me what happened here in the chat box, please? Can anyone tell me what that is right there? Consolidation. I'm kind of looking for something else, though. Divergence. Technically, actually, there was a little bit right here at these 2 points. But no, not really exactly what I was looking for, but that's a good find if you really saw that. That was pretty good. If you zoom in, this point here and this point here, and then right here and right here, there was divergence. And on the daily, that would have been a good find. Sideways movement. Consolidation, sideways movement, it's the same thing. But yes, Joni, thank you. Sideways trend. Sideways trend is indicative of what? Reversal. Sideways trend is indicative of reversal, especially when it's down at the bottom at support. Okay. So we'll see. It could extend up here, pull back, and then go all the way up again, or it's going to go down. We'll see what happens. It's been about an hour. Does anybody have any questions over what we covered tonight? I wanted to make it a little bit educational so everybody could kind of see, you know, what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the chart. But I mean, for those of you that already know support and resistance, you guys, this is support and resistance trading. I mean, I could have thrown a fib up there, a Fibonacci, and measured it out, but we weren't really talking about exits. So I wanted to talk about the overall trend, where we're at on those trades, and kind of show you guys what's going on, but a general sense. And for those of you that are new, you can understand kind of how the market works. Good question. That's a very good question, Julie. Can the bankers see the stop losses? Yes. They see your stop loss. They see your take profit. They see everything. Everything. Think about the advantage of that. The banks know everything you do, and so do the brokers. But guess what? You can get that information. All you have to do is go to the sentiment indicator. That's it. You can find out sentiment. Sentiment's everywhere. You can look it up on Daily FX. There's there's an advanced sentiment indicator that shows what people are expecting for one pair, and then you do the opposite because the banks are going to clear the majority. Okay. Yeah, so sentiment, remember, there's 3 types of analysis. Number 1, fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis, which you're learning about the currency, what makes up the currency, the government, the economics, the GDP, farming, you know, that sort of thing. Technical analysis is the second one, which is what we're doing, charts. Technical analysis, reading the charts. And then third, sentimental analysis, finding the market sentiment. Are most people in the market buying or are they selling? Number 1's fundamentals, number 2 is technicals, and number 3, sentimental analysis. Does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to say about what we covered tonight? It's a little quiet, so I want to go ahead and unmute. Any questions, guys?
What is it?
Don't guess that.
What do you think, Genevieve?
I don't think.
Okay, that's fine.
That's interesting with the dollar, though. But everything's been pushing in the opposite direction the last few days from what we've been marking up. So
Yeah, and sometimes you'll get caught in that where the trend's going to push a little bit stronger than you thought, but ultimately it almost always goes the way that you think it will.
right.
It's a patience thing.
Oh yeah.
Anybody, any comments, questions? Alex, Noreen, and Rastum, you're brand new. What do you guys think about all this?
Should I speak then? I'll speak, Noreen. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's really good. I think for me, it's nice to see how you look at things. And I like the red box that you did, and so that maybe that I can look at things in a different way now, because I think when I did look at crypto trading, I just never knew when to come out of a trade, or just that part was always very confusing. Even if I thought it was going to go down, I still didn't know whether should I come out of it or should I not come out of it. So I think over time I'll get it as well. So I think it was really good. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And Noreen, I want you to keep in mind that everybody on this call needs to know the 2 things that we base our exits off of are number 1, market structure, and then number 2, well, price action too. So market structure, price action, but also the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so when we talk about fibs in the advanced training, you're going to learn about when you get out based on the golden ratio and the price reversal zone, okay? So again, market structure, price action, and the fibs are going to tell you when to exit. Entry is going to be determined by market structure, price action, basically the same thing, but on a smaller time frame on the 15-minute chart, okay? You also have your other confirmations like divergence and all that good stuff as well.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Rastum, what's going on, brother? Alex, any thoughts tonight? Or not Alex, Charles, I should say. Why does it always say Alex? You should change all your stuff to your real name, brother. Are you there? Hello? I don't know if he has his mic on his device or not. Okay, all good. Anybody else, any questions, comments, anything? That's what this is for. We got a few more minutes, you guys.
Sean, how often do you do these? So I'm assuming you've got videos of these anyway within the structure of the
Oh yeah,
calls. So do you do many of these Zoom calls at night then?
all
For
the
me, it's
time.
night. I'm gonna have to change
Genevieve
my
and I are
hours.
doing these all the time, and then we also have other traders that are going to be doing these as well.
I'm gonna have to sleep during the day and be awake at night just to come on the Zooms.
Yeah, yep, we'll be doing these at night too. What time is it there for you?
It's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 a.m.
Okay, well
Dedication.
we'll be doing some earlier too, so
No, it's
we
okay.
appreciate you being on. All right, everybody, I appreciate it. It's 9 o'clock. I gave you guys an hour. We'll be looking at the markets more closely to see how these setups play out. Make sure you always mark up your charts, even if you get a signal. And remember, this is about education. This is actually about learning the skill set. Signals are a bonus. Signals are a bonus. Don't find yourself relying on signals. Focus on the actual education. People that really stick around are the ones that learn the skill. They don't just rely on signals in the chat, okay? People that come in and all they want is signals. If that fits your lifestyle right now, that's fine if you can't really trade, but learn the skill, develop the skill, and you're going to be much better off in the long run, okay, guys? So I appreciate you all for being on the call. I'll see you on the next one. Looks like we're going to have some calls tomorrow, so you guys will be good to go. I'll see everybody in the chat. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, Sean.
Maybe we'll be more vocal on the next one. See you later, guys.